And here's the other thing, is that, I used to have this theory that whenever people get drunk, they revert back to their moment of deep trauma. Like, I had someone who was a major alcoholic in my life, and whenever he would get drunk, he'd go back to being a baby, like a full-on, like, blah, 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 baby. And he had tremendous developmental trauma that happened to him exactly at that age. Versus my other friend, she would become almost like, I would say she was like 5 to 7. And she'd get really like my way and my thing. And we'd like go out and she'd like elbow her way to the front of the room, my way, my thing, and wanted all the attention. And she had shit that went down for her when she was between 5 and 7. And so I think something similar happens when we're first discovering our sexuality, is in a way we need to kind of like go back to the origin point when our sexuality was first shut down. So for me, that was in middle school. So it makes sense that in my archetype, in the energy, you can think of it kind of like a bottleneck, like your aliveness is going, like little kids are so connected to Eros, so connected to their aliveness, like so just in their feeling, and flirting with everyone, seducing everyone. And then it, like, for me, hit puberty, but it could be in that baby stage, it could be in that 5 to 7 stage, it could be later in life, whatever. But for me, it was like right around puberty when all of a sudden it was like, oh fuck, and a lot of really scary kind of bad stuff happened that made me shut myself down. And so in reclaiming my sexuality, I feel like part of it's like going back to the time of that bottleneck, which for me was through the portal of this archetype of the natural and of this sort of like juicy fruit kind of innocent thing. And I think there's something where you kind of need to go back into the vibration, go back into the time of when the thing happened. And it was through permissioning myself into that archetype to be like the way my sexuality might have expressed itself when I was 11, 12, 13 years old. Even to process through some of the social conditioning around that, even to be a little bit like maybe Maxim magazine or some of the movies that I saw during that time. Like, what was it? I was thinking that movie with like Elizabeth Hurley, like Bedazzled or something like that. To go back to those images, right? And to liberate that part of the being. And then it was in going to that, in accepting myself, going to that archetype, going back to feeling young and innocent and pure in my sexuality, that I was able to kind of like go into that frequency, open it, and then evolve through. That I think gave me access to what my natural looks like now at the age I am now in my 30s, and also access to more and other archetypes and sensual, seductive expressions and embodiments. And so it's almost like using the charge of this Eros as a way of transforming and evolving yourself through this archetypal lens. So yes, again, find your archetype, find what's natural to you, read that fucking book, and just like get fucking free. And in terms of us doing this, transmuting this through ourselves, it's like we heal personally our own trauma, and we also heal the collective field of patriarchy and sexual repression that's so vicious and cuts us all off from the truth of our wholeness and of our power. All right, thank you all so much for listening. Onwards. I'll catch you next time.